Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay. What up, guys? Welcome
Hello.
to the first episode of our podcast,
Reunited. Anyways, I'm Randon, not Brandon. My mom got high and forgot the B, so now you know.
And I'm Eden, and we're both going to be your hostesses of this podcast. And on this podcast, we are going to discuss various topics about
drugs,
and
fun,
really fun,
life in general, and what we expect to be doing 10 to 5 to maybe 2 or maybe even a few months down the road.
But so you don't just think we're rambling on, let's tell you a little bit about ourselves and a little bit about our goals.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Very much advised. So, brother, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 29 years old. I was born in Santa Rosa, California,
Lame.
on Reunite Hospital. I believe it was Sutter at the time. I was brought to Georgia as an infant, was raised out there the first half of my life, came out to California, met my biological sperm donor for the first time. He's and a tweaker. By the way, I'm a tweaker too, and a heroin addict, so, like I said, right now I'm at the point in my life where I'm bouncing back, and you'll hear a little bit more about that as we go on further in the show.
Beautiful. Okay, so my name is Eden. Some of you guys probably know my name already because I've uploaded a couple of videos before. But I was born in Hawaii because I was part of a military family.
Miss Goldstorm.
Not Miss Goldstorm. No. But then we moved to Georgia, and then when my parents separated, we moved to California. So I grew up most of my life in Santa Rosa. And then when I was 10 years old, my dad went to prison on a life sentence without parole. And currently to this day still is. And then I'm also here with my brother, who's a recovering drug addict of many, many years.
Or more commonly known as junkie.
More commonly known as junkie, as they would say on the streets. And so we want to talk about our lives and some of the things that we've gone through that have made us who we are and how to overcome some really traumatic events that shape you as a human being.
Sweet.
Sweet. And as a disclaimer, we are not giving any medical advice in these episodes.
Simply sharing life stories, life events, and what we did to make our lives a little bit different and more positive instead of in the negative.
And hopefully in that process we can help some people along the way, because if somebody can relate to what we're saying in our stories, then they can find hope that they can also recover or heal or change their life. So,
right?
This episode is just going to be like a small introduction, and yeah, we'll get into the juicy stuff later on.
Hope you guys like it.
Hope you like it too. So, what I will say...
Oh yeah, and by the way, right now we're filming in the hospital because me being a junkie, I've had too much clean now. I got like 12 more days left in the hospital. I had got a blood infection, endocarditis, 2 abscesses, 1 in my ass, 1 in my lungs, and pus pockets. I was septic. Now my infection in my blood is suppressed, meaning it's not circulating. So, I'm getting better each and every day. Got 12 days left, like I said, and anyways.
Yeah, I just visited him for the first time in a really long time because, like I said, he has been a junkie for so many years, and so he kind of was pretty absent as we were growing up for the most part, a little bit in and out, but now that he's been in the hospital, thankfully recovering, we've been able to hang out more, and then we decided we wanted to start a podcast. And so I'm really excited about that because I don't remember the last time I've seen this dude smile. It's been like so long.
And towards the end of the show, we'll give you a quick view of how bored as I've been here. You can see my room. It's decorated. I got a Fire Stick, which is the Amazon Prime thing. If you know about it, you know about it. If you don't, you don't.
And just so you guys know, this first episode is not scripted, but we wanted to keep it raw, you know, the uncut version.
Oh, everything I do is raw.
Yes, but let's keep the profanity to a minimum
in more ways
for the
than
audience.
One.
Yeah, so our ultimate goal is just really to help people and inspire people through our stories. And if you ever need a little bit of entertainment while you know, driving down the street or just really sad and bundled up, just listen to us ramble on, and you'll probably get a laugh or cry, or you can just cry with us.
Or maybe you'll do both.
I cry frequently, so I really do.
Me too.
So one last thing I'll say for this episode. Unless you have a whole bunch to say this episode, but
I got a little bit to say. Oh, and just so you know, I come from a big family. I got 10 sisters and 2 brothers, just so you know. I am who I am, no judging.
Yes, my dad got around sometimes. And
my dad did too.
Okay, yes. So, a little bit of my background. I grew up most of my life with mostly my mom until my stepdad came in the picture because my dad's been gone. And
He's not my stepdad. He's working on being a friend.
Yes. And so I grew up most of my high school years playing volleyball, and I don't know, growing up I never really fit in, I felt like, with the other kids, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And I kind of got bullied a little bit in middle school, didn't really understand why. And then I developed an eating disorder at a really young age, which is super unfortunate because so many people are affected by that.
It's true.
And it kind of carried on with me throughout all of high school, which is really unfortunate because I was so passionate about playing volleyball, and I feel like it just totally ruined the entirety of my career to the point where I couldn't continue. I never developed as a player. I didn't understand what it was like to be healthy, and so that was probably the biggest thing I've struggled with, and maybe it goes back to feeling so...
I think both of us kind of struggle with learning how to be healthy or knowing how to be healthy.
Yeah, and it's not like you don't want to, but it's just a fact of not really knowing and being guided in the wrong direction at a young age, so...
Well, I started at a young age, so
yeah,
it's like...
You start to learn by, the people you hang around or the situations you've been in your life that have condition you into believing certain things and develop
or made you feel a certain type of way, and then they keep feeding you this negative energy, so therefore you eventually upon time start feeling that way about yourself. I'm still struggling with that here. I'm still going through emotions and stuff that I haven't felt, that I've been killing for so many years, because due to the fact that there's deeper core reasons that I'm not going to get into right now of why I use that. Some of the reasons I don't even remember or know why. But, so it's I've been killing these emotions for so long, and I've had a couple of, bad situations here, and, one of them came about, I had a problem with one of the people that work here, and I tried to apologize, and that made me feel like shit when they just, chumped me off and, completely were rude to me. And so with everything bottled up for so many years, I kind of, exploded. And it was not just that, it was multiple situations with him and the way he treats other people. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want people to hurt me. I want to help people, in the best way that I can, which I'm still learning in which way I can help. I do want to learn how to be an interior decorator. That's what I want to do. But anyways, so I never had this situation happen where I was so upset and all these feelings are going through me. I'm upset, I'm mad, I'm crying hysterically. I can't catch my breath. I'm burning up so bad that my skin is breaking out in welts, which has never happened to me before, and I've never felt like this before, because like I said, I've been killing my emotions for so long that I really didn't know what to do. And I felt like maybe I was a shitty person and I was embarrassed, because I was crying, and all these girl nurses, which mostly are nurses, which are girls, Is
that what a girl nurse is? A nurse that's a girl.
Well, okay, shut up. Anyways, but most nurses are girls, and so it's I feel embarrassed because I'm a guy, and I don't know, I'm not a manly man or whatever. I'm just I'm a guy. I don't have nothing to prove. I've always got along better with women in my whole life due to the fact that I told you I have 10 sisters, a stepsister, and then 9 other sisters. So therefore, I'm just telling you a little bit about what was going on and working through all these problems, and it's really hard, So
yeah, and I think a lot of that goes back to having these...
Hi, Andy.
having these coping mechanisms that you learn to use throughout your life, and situations come up.
She's one of my favorite nurses.
Yeah, a nurse just walked in. For the people who are listening,
make sure you go to 2 West and Andy, and I'll give you a list of names of cool people.
Anyways, yeah. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you don't know what just happened, but a nurse just walked in. But if you're watching on YouTube, then you'll know that a nurse just walked in.
It's my nurse, just like it's my mom,
Yes. But
well, it's our mom, but it's my mom.
Whatever. We'll have a debate about that, a fight. Whose mom is it really? But I think in the process of recovering and still figuring out stuff about ourselves every day. You know, we don't have everything figured out. So I think by documenting our process, not only will we be able to release some feelings that have been bottled up inside of us that we might not be able to cope with entirely well because we're still learning.
Totally learning how to find coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
And that's really, really
and
hard,
we can
honestly.
learn, and I feel like we'll have this to reflect on, and other people will be able to relate to our stories, but we'll also be able to just talk and let it out because it's a non-judgmental environment, or at least I hope so don't be mean.
Well, and me, for instance, like, being out there on the streets and stuff like that, which I don't have to be homeless. I choose to be because I was using drugs. So this is how it goes. You're sad, you get high. You're mad, you get high. You're happy, let's celebrate, let's get high. It's everything, let's get high. No matter what the situation, let's get high. It's always been like that, like, for so long. Like, I was a crackhead, what it started out to be, and then graduated from crack to pills, to smoking pills, to fucking shooting pills, to shooting heroin, and shooting meth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's, we all know, is not a healthy coping mechanism. You know what I'm saying? I always used to say, winners never quit, and I wanted to be a winner, so I was the best of the best at what I do. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah. So I mean, that's how it is, and so I'm definitely still learning how to cope with things, and like, I'm still really don't know exactly how to cope with things. I try to draw a little bit here and there. I'll show you a picture that I did for somebody here in a little bit, but and maybe on the way out, we'll show you a picture I put on the wall and the flower that I made.
For you YouTubers, not podcasters. But
yeah, but anyway.
Are you excited to make a bunch of episodes and talk through your feelings and figure things out?
Yeah, brother.
Sister. What are you most excited about? This is a random idea, and we were like, let's jump in and do it.
Actually, I'm most excited about... I've always been a big family person, but due to the fact of my drug using, my family didn't really want to be around me. Well, it's not that they didn't want to be around me, but they didn't want to see me killing myself. So, I'm really excited.
I'm killing myself.
Really?
I'm killing myself. I'm killing myself.
But anyway, so that's my sister. She's being retarded right now. But, so, like... Basically, I'm super stoked about being back with my family. My sister was mad at me for a couple years because I got out of jail, and I've been in and out of jail. I don't know how many times exactly. I know over 50, which is ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. I've never been to prison, though, so... But stealing stuff and from stores to supply your habit and using drugs is not going to get you a get out of jail free card. Unless you're doing it for the cops, then maybe you might talk your way out of a couple jail terms. But anyways, yeah, so
so many stories. I could say one sentence and you're like, oh yeah, so yeah, I got arrested 50 times. Yeah, what are you most excited for about the show? Well, let me tell you about this one time. But
well, I don't want to make... That's the way it goes.
I don't want to make this episode too long. We're going to get into specific topics in later episodes.
Because we want to keep your attention and keep you entertained.
Exactly.
And keep it, like, sporadic and
just
totally
so you guys know,
awesome.
If we're talking about anything a little bit deeper, then we will issue a trigger warning at the beginning in case it could be sensitive to some people that might be still struggling. And we will put...
using heroin.
Yes.
Or meth. Or crack.
And we'll put disclaimers in front of every video just so you guys know we're not giving you any medical advice, but we do hope that you can relate, and we hope that you enjoyed this first episode.
You said that in the beginning.
Yeah, I just like to reiterate myself just to make sure I'm not leaving anything out or leaving
reiterating or completely saying the same thing again.
You know what? This episode is over, but any final words,
guys.
Brother?
And,
actually, no final words because it'll turn into another 30-minute story. So
whatever, dude. I can't help that I drag people into my long ass story, dude.
No, he has a lot to say, but we're actually going to
cut this shit a little short.
Yep, and we'll get back to you guys in our next episode. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching and listening to our first episode of Reunited. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Okay, I'm gonna go lay down and not work out, and I'm just gonna go manifest the life that I want instead.